Hey everybody, how you doing? This is MJ. I love Tokusatsu, and right now I want to talk about Kamen Rider 01, episode 28. Sorry for covering up the screen right there. If you're watching the video version of this, I want you to let me know, what do you think about the quality of the audio and the fluidity of the video? Are things moving around too much? Maybe I should have saved that for the end, but I'm asking it here. Anyway, as well, let me know if there's been any dip in the audio and recent quality if you're a audio podcast only listener, because I'm doing something different. It's warm, so I'm getting outside more and I'm walking more because I'm a human, not a machine. And anyway, I guess that leads us into talking about Kamen Rider 01. First of all, I want to talk about the new stuff, so let's go over to, I guess really the most new stuff is the fact that we've got a fighting Jackal on the team now. I mean, on the team. Whose team is she on? Yaiba Yua. She's not wearing her proper belt. Instead, she's using this Raid Riser. Do I want to call it like a prototype? I guess I'm going to call it like the first production model Raid Riser with this Jackal in it. Well, a jackal, I was going to say, it's a mythical creature. It's a real animal. Are jackals extinct? I don't even know that anymore. Or I don't know that I've ever known that. Are jackals purely mythological, or were they real dogs in Egypt? I don't know. Anyway, regardless, she's got a sweet-looking new suit. At first, I was really disappointed because I thought, oh man, Yaiba Yua, she's being done dirty. She is being taken down a notch, and she's being turned into something that, she shouldn't be. And I don't know why I thought that her becoming a Raid Riser was going to be a problem, as far as like a demotion for her as a character, because if you think about it, the Raid Risers are actually more powerful than the standard, Magir, and they require more powerful riders to defeat them. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, Thouser was able to defeat them from go, but he had, been engineering everything, orchestrating everything, so that he would look like the hero. He would look like the, best guy, Guy Matsu. That's right. But so that he would come out on top in the battle between Zaia and Hiden, and he did a pretty good job of orchestrating things that way. But getting back to the point, Yaiba Yua is not giving up power in using the Raid Riser suit, in using this Jackal power or equipment. She's in fact seizing more power. However, underlying all that, if you just take a step back, she is compromising her morals. We don't really know what her morals are, but she seems to have morals similar to Isamafu and Aruto Hiden, and she seems to be compromising those in order to achieve some goal. We don't know what her goal is. Maybe her immediate goal is to just stay alive so she can do the thing afterwards, and maybe that thing will be worthwhile, and maybe we'll be proud of her for what she's done by the end of the show, but we just don't know. I gotta say, that suit in action is beautiful. Over on my Twitter, I think it's MJ_scribe. I don't know. I don't read it myself. I mean, I just post stuff on there. So anyway, I think I'm MJ_scribe. I made a little video and put it on there. It's like 8 seconds long. It's the conclusion of her fight with the Magir, who's a dodo, sadly. Which is what's he called? MC Check It Out. MC Check It Out was a really cool character in this episode. I don't want to ignore him, but I did think it was important to talk about Yaiba Yua and her, new Jackal suit or whatever. But yeah, he became an improved, like a Dodo 2.0. There were probably 4 versions of Dodo altogether. Anyway, he became a Dodo 2.0 after losing the debate against this crooked, corrupt politician. It was really cool. I liked his actor, very charismatic. In the back of my mind, being an American and knowing the racist history of America, and then thinking about how racist the Japanese are, and I know that was a little racist of me to say the Japanese as a class are all racist, but racism exists over there. However, there are expats, and like the guy, I can't remember his name, but he was really cool. He was in Lupat. He was in Lupat? Yeah, he was in Lupat. He was the Hilltop. That guy was dope. He talks about his work as a children's. He did an interview with Vice, and Aleph on Laser Knees linked to it, but I don't know, maybe I'll find the link to it and throw it in my show notes somewhere. Anyway, he talked about the fact that he's like Blippi, or one of these like children's, I can't, like Lamb Chop, the lady on Lamb Chop. He's like one of those characters on a TV show, and he's been doing that for some years in Japan. And he's like, hey, I want to normalize, black people, so that these Japanese kids grow up with like a friendly, a black person on TV who they see as a person, not as like some weird, gaijin foreigner, but like as someone they can relate to and as someone they can understand, and like that's cool. But anyway, so this guy I'm not saying he had a similar vibe, but he had a lot of charisma, a lot of charm. Oh, but in the back of my mind, seeing him go crazy the way he did, just it felt like, oh, this is a racist stereotype. But then again, they were straight out, the politicians working with Zaia were straight out calling the Human Gears subhuman, which technically they are, but I also don't think they are, because I think they have heart and soul, like MC Check It Out rapped about in his song, which that was fun. Anyway, yeah, I just so maybe it's just they're like really leaning into the allegory of racism by including somebody who's marginalized and who has had racist attacks, someone from a class of people who's had racist attacks lobbied against him, in different countries. Obviously, in the parts in Africa where black people are in charge, I'm sure they're not. Well, that's not true. There are, Mexicans who are racist against Mexicans because they're, more Mexican Indian, and people always find ways to divide themselves from each other and cause more, or cause less or more discord, less harmony. People always find ways to cause less harmony between each other, even inside racial groups. And I don't want to talk about all that crap because that doesn't really matter. It's not the point. Point is, he was a fun, charismatic character. I enjoyed seeing him do what he did, and I like what it serves for the overall plot, because it sure looks like Zaia is going to be victorious in gaining public opinion and getting the Human Gears shut down. I mean, I don't see how they're going to recover from this, and how Hiden is going to win the contest. I think their goose is cooked, and it'll be really interesting to see what happens if the villain actually wins. I mean, if you think about it, if everything's been going according to Amatsugai's plans so far, he's winning already. He's been winning, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see exactly what the consequences are of him actually winning throughout. And then there's stuff like the whole thing with Fuwa having a chip in his head, and man, the way showing that revelation and the way everything was shot, going back now, I can see him potentially being this other character because of this chip in his head. But does that mean that's the deal with Yaiba too? She's some sort of, like oppressed human? I don't know. Kind of reminds me of Suicide Squad. Does she have like a bomb in her head, and Zaia will kill her or not Zaia, but Guy will do something evil, like kill her if she doesn't do what he wants? Can he just hack her and make her do what he wants anyway? Has she been hacked this whole time? Is Fuwa the only one who's like that? And I mean, I don't want to do spoilers, but there's scans of a new character, and I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do that with Fuwa, because I didn't think that Fuwa was going to turn out to be this other member of Metsubo Jinrai who's been revealed in the scans, or whatever, promotional material. But if he does turn out to be, that'll be an interesting turn. Real quick, wrapping up, I really liked Hirobi. Does Hirobi's suit look different? Because this is the best his suit has ever looked. I don't know if it's just because they showed him like in direct sunlight as opposed to cloaking him in shadows, but I really liked that. One last thing I'll say about this episode is the scene outside where, there was this one really cool shot when Yaiba was fighting Check It Out, and then Aruto went on, squared off against Guy, and he attacked him, and Guy manipulated the whole scene so that he could like make his tech look even better, which I thought was pretty cool. But very crafty. The guy's a jerk, but he's a jerk well. Anyway, this is a really neat shot where the two of them are fighting in the background, the Raider and the Magir, and then you've got Amatsugai in between them and Aruto's back is to us. And it's just interesting to see these four writers and these four different types of writers all in one shot in this show, And I just thought that was kind of interesting. It was a neat shot, the way it was multi-leveled and layered and everything like that. And anyway, I thought that was interesting. So I'm really curious as to where the show's going to go. This, slightly boring, slightly repetitive arc that had, like, some good things to say about the show and about the themes has just exploded, and I am very interested to see what the heck's going to happen next episode, and if Amatsu guy wins. I've seen on Twitter, Toku Twitter, which I'm only seeing a slice of it, people are like really mad that Amatsu guy is the villain, and he's like a really bad villain, and he's doing bad things, but like during Forza, people were crying or like hating on the show because the villains weren't winning enough, and they're like, cancer isn't enough, there needs to be more than that. And if you don't know what I'm referring to, then you got to go watch Forza, because it's a great show anyway. But I mean, it's probably a different crop of people. Forza happened a long time ago. Like, what is that, already like like 8 years ago that Forza happened? Anyway, so it's a different crowd, but it's just interesting how things change. But like, yeah, we want our villains to be bad and evil, and like they can have cool suits and cool powers and whatever, but like ultimately we should want them to be bad and morally wrong so that our heroes can defeat them, or better yet, like help them to redeem themselves and reform how they live, right? That's where I come from anyway. Anyway, let me see, is there anything else I wanted? Oh, so this episode was written by Yu Takahashi. I forgot to mention that. According to a translation, the title is My Rap Changes the World, and Teruaki Sugihara was the director. I know he's done other stuff. Other than, well, no, that's not true. Yua's fight as the Jackal was amazing, so I guess compliments to the director on that. What else do I have to say? I don't have nothing else to say, man. I ain't got to say nothing. I'm out of here. Goodbye. Okay, I thought I was done, but I'm actually back because the format of this, the way I'm recording these things now, makes it easier for me to promote my artwork and the stuff I'm putting up on Redbubble. So you can see right now on the screen, if you're looking at it, some of my stuff. I have a collection of, I have a Spider-Man thing, Star Wars thing, a Galactic Conflict thing, and then a super tokusatsu inspired stuff. And I'm going to scroll through and let you see some of the stuff. I'm going to go to the Toku stuff because this is a tokusatsu show, and I have a Kamen Rider, specifically a Kamen Rider theme design. Although if you're looking, you can see the other things I've designed as well. Oh, there's Luke. Come on, where's my there we go. Yes, look at my I made this alligator rider for like Toku Timber in maybe 2018, and I think it was 2019 actually, and I decided to use it in a design here. I think it's pretty cool. You can get her on a dress if you want. I think that's kind of neat. So yeah, I have other designs up on Redbubble, in addition to all the other stuff I do, which I will tell you about now in my ending spiel. MJ Loves Toku can be found on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher. Check out mjmunoz.com for more my other review series on other Ridercast, where I talk about all the Kamen Rider debuts from Kuga to Zio. King of Hearts, Queen of Sorrows, where I talk about Mobile Fighter G Gundam. Going Ultra, where I discuss Ultraman. And Swinging Through Comics, where I talk about comics. I've done a wide range. Well, it's mostly Marvel, but I've worked in the Skullman manga, and I'll do other Ishinomori stuff in the future because I just like his stuff so much. I also have writing projects over there on mjmunoz.com. I haven't been writing as much there and publishing it there because I'm actually working with a professional person in the book world to get a children's book published right now. So anyway, I might throw little tiny stories up there every now and then, but you can check those out there. If you love what I do and want to support me, you can go to my Coffee and Redbubble accounts, pages, whatever. Relevant links are below. If you had a good time, like, share, and leave a comment. Tell me what you're thinking about the show so far. Tell me if you are liking the development of Amatsu Guy as this villain, and if you like the fact that the guy's winning, and where do you think the show's going to go from there. Okay, and then you can subscribe to that bell to keep current with weekly 01 reviews, and remember, you don't have to shout henshin to be a hero.